Congratulations. We're really delighted that you've decided to join us in this course. This course can be life-changing if you suffer from chronic illness, chronic pain, fatigue, you're always tired. If your body's not working the way that it should be, then we're going to be giving you some information that we hope you'll take in with an open mind and test for yourself that could dramatically change the course of your life moving forward. And we're not doing this based on theory. We're not telling you this based on PhD research studies that we've done. We're teaching you and talking to you from a position of having lived this ourselves and having helped thousands, tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people around the world deal with chronic illness disease. I'm Scott Patton, your co-instructor. Martin Patella, our health coach at Life Enthusiast, is also the co-instructor. We've been publishing a podcast since I think 2006 or 7 on chronic illness and alternative health. We have a lot of courses here on Udemy, and we have seen what happens to people when they start following programs that are meant for them, which means eat for their type, which is individual. Everyone's individual, so you can't just say this beach diet works for everybody. No, it works for a certain specific subgroup of our population. So in this course, we're going to be talking about a number of different things. And to start off with, we're going to be talking about why you lost your health. You're here because you're sick, or somebody you know is really sick and they're not getting better. And chances are it's a chronic illness. They don't look like they're sick. They don't look like there's anything wrong, but they're sleeping 18 hours a day. They're in constant pain. Parts of their body don't work. And we're just seeing more and more and more of this. And it's because we're not addressing the causes. Recently, there was a study put out, just to give you kind of a little bit of an understanding of where our society is going. And the sperm count in males in Western society is down 47%. Well, it's down to 47% of what it was, which means that a lot of them are infertile. They won't be able to have children. And if that goes down much more, most of them will become infertile. And then we have no reproduction going on. And that's basically the end of the human race as we know it. So why is that happening? We're going to be looking at a lot of those reasons and why you've got chronic illness and disease moving forward. Martin, anything you want to add to that?
Right. Based on experience, you can see we're now white-haired, mature guys who have lived it. I originally got ill in my 20s. I was 25 when I was poisoned by mercury, which was the primary trigger for my health decline. And I've studied it in depth. As they call it, I've got the T-shirt, and I've washed my car with it. It's I know wherefore I speak. I have done it. I am one of you. I do have the autoimmune inflammatory disease myself, and I have to manage it. If I try to live the life of what I was when I was 23 or 24, I put myself in bed for weeks. You need to understand this course will teach you how to turn that ship around, how you get yourself out of the pain you're in, the symptoms that you're experiencing, and shift your lifestyle in such way that you can live a decent life. It's not going to be the same life. You cannot expect to do what you've done and get results that are other than what you're getting. Get that now. If you want different outcome, you must start using different inputs.
Yeah. So once we show you the causes of your illness or the lifestyle causes of your illness, the third section in the course is going to deal with the consequences. So these are the things that we're doing. That's section 2. These are what they look like in your body, whether it's leaky gut, it's liver problems, whether it's your hormonal systems, or your immune system that's gone wonky. Your immune system, you might be in pain because your immune system is hyperactive as opposed to being not very active. And that's kind of how it shows up. It's really strange how a lot of the solutions are the same because it's a single problem or a very small number of problems, but the symptoms can be in the millions. And as we'll say more than once, your doctor treats your symptoms, and it's like masking your symptom. In other words, you're driving your car ran out of oil, the engine light came on, you took gum out of your mouth, put it over the engine light so you don't see the red light, and you continue to drive. And now you're wondering why your car is not functioning. Well, this is what we're doing to our bodies. You're getting pain somewhere, or you're getting stuff coming out of your nose, or you're getting zits all over the place, or your skin is really dry, or your hair is falling out, and you're thinking, I just need to go see my doctor and he'll give me something and I'll feel better. Yeah, you'll feel better, but the problem is still there, it's still festering, and it's still causing damage to your body, even if you don't feel like it. So sometimes, we hate taking 3 days off work, laying in bed and getting better, but that's probably a better thing to do than taking some drugs. So all of a sudden, yeah, I can breathe, I'm not coughing, I can get through the day. What did that do to your body? It didn't help it heal. It just masked the symptoms. So we're going to be talking a lot about that. And then in the fourth section, we're going to get to the really good stuff, which is the solutions, the things that you need to do, the changes that you need to do. And that sounds really good until you realize that basically you're going to have to change your whole life, because the way you've lived your life has brought you to this point. And that's what we're going to be talking about throughout the whole section. This is all about, as Martin said, you're on the Titanic, you see the iceberg, and we need to sort of change direction. And all we have are a couple canoe paddles. That's not really true. Fortunately, we've got a lot of tools, but you need to use those tools. And most people don't think they have any choice or have any alternatives. And so they just watch as they get fatter and fatter and fatter, as they have heart attack after heart attack, nervous breakdown after nervous breakdown, or they suffer in silence because they're in constant pain. And it doesn't have to be that way. That's our message of hope to you. And this course will show you, if you have an open mind, if you're willing to try, if you're willing to work with Martin, how to change from hitting the iceberg to sailing into port safely and healthy.
Right, that is the main point. You can expect and you will get a solution that will produce a good life. Promise. If you follow what we're going to teach you here, I promise you will get a decent life.
And there's one last thing that we want to add. The course that you're about to watch is like the tip of the iceberg. Underneath the water is a tremendous amount of information that has been condensed for you. In a 10, 15-minute lecture, we cannot get into all of the details of why what we say is true. But that doesn't mean that you're not the type of person that needs that type of level of detail or understanding. So in most of the lectures, not necessarily all, because it will not obviously not be in an introductory lesson at the beginning of the sections or the summary, we are going to be including PDF reports in a PDF format, so you can read them on your phone, you can read them on your tablet, you can read them on your computer, you can print them off, and you may be reading and saying, wow, this is really what's going on with me. My family doesn't understand this, so print it off, give it to your family, give it to your friends, give it to your boss, give it to your coworkers. And now if they read it, they can see, here are studies and here's proof of what it is that we're saying. So if you require that sort of information and say, you know what, I don't know if I really believe what they're saying here in this particular lecture, go to the resources. There'll be a PDF there, download it, and you can reference all the studies yourself. We've gone and condensed it. We've gone and summarized it. We brought it all together, put it hopefully in a way that you can understand, and then you can get into this information in a lot deeper level than just listening to us. We wanted to give this course to you as the most in-depth progressive course we could, and we realized that just talking wasn't going to do it. We needed to give you other resources, and so that's what we've done.
One important point is Scott says we'll quote you studies and we'll give you whatever. There is an important piece of understanding that you need to get. The mainstream of medicine is completely misguided in its ignorance of biological individuality. The double-blind study is based on a fallacy. And to illustrate, one person is alkalized by potassium, another person is acidified by potassium. So if I supplement potassium, do a study, depending on the mix of the people in the study, I will see results that are alkalizing in one half of them and acidifying in the other half of them, or not half, the mix. It's important that you understand that biological individuality overrules studies. Mainstream information is useless in chronic inflammatory degenerative disease. The mainstream medicine is excellent at dealing with single cause problems. If, for instance, you get tuberculosis caused by the bacillus that causes tuberculosis, they know how to deal with it, they'll deal with it, and you're done. If you have an injury, I don't know, a bullet wound in your chest, provided you survive that, they'll put you together. They are excellent at that.
Can I jump in here for just a second? Because I read this article and it's a beautiful story. And we, as Martin has been talking, we feel that the medical system has its place. And oftentimes, if you listen to us, you may feel we don't. And that's not true. We just think it's overstepped its boundaries. But there was this beautiful article that I read today. And this woman was getting married. It was her second marriage. And at the wedding, she had an empty seat for her son, who had passed away in a car accident when he was 19. So knowing this, the groom-to-be created a surprise for his bride-to-be, which was a gentleman from California. I don't know where they were having the wedding. It wasn't in California, but they flew in a gentleman from California. He had her son's heart. So she was listening to his heart at her wedding.
Yeah, if you don't feel moved by that, I don't know what's going on for you, right?
So there's a great example of our medical system working a miracle. The problem is that in the area of chronic disease, they don't understand. They understand how to take a heart out of a body, put it into another body, get it to work. But they don't understand why you're in pain. They don't understand why you're tired. And they don't understand the impact that your lifestyle has had on your health. And these are things that end up getting masked because we go to them and we say, give me something so I'm no longer in pain. And they don't know what to give you. So they give you this, they give you that. You try it. The side effects are worse than the problem you had to begin with. And you're hooked on these drugs and it's just a downward spiral. So we want to separate this, there in an emergency, you break your leg. Oh yeah, like you don't want to take potassium. You want somebody to stick your leg back together, bolt it and put a cast on it so that it heals itself properly. And, so there's a place for it and there's a place where it's not effective. And that place is the place that we're addressing in this course.
The method we use is called functional medicine. You can deep dive into that online if you want. Most functional medicine procedures are not covered by insurance, health insurance, mainly because the society is organized in such a way that pharmaceutical companies have huge leverage financially, politically, and so on. So I'm not going to get into the political tirade about it. I could. The main point I want to make is this. If you have already tried for a while, maybe several years, to solve a solution that is not yielding to the attempts that you're making, especially under the guidance of the mainstream medical system. The reason is they really do not have a way to help you. And I want to show you how I went through the process myself, and Scott did, and we have guided many thousands of people to get from the place of no hope to a place of, oh yes, I can have a life. It's different from what it was, but it's a good life.